Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? It is your boy Izlo33, welcoming you to a League of Legends cast. Today we are not in the LCS or LEC. We're getting you guys hyped for the World Championships, coming in with an LPL game between LNG and FPX. It's only fitting we go to the current region of the MSI champions, who are also returning to Worlds in RNG. But we've got two teams here battling out on the Rift for superiority and going forward into the next round of the summer playoffs. This matchup is already going in favor of FPX, who are winning out 2-0. Win this game and they go through. LNG need to bite back and reverse sweep as we load onto the stage for Champion Select. Kicking things off, we're already partway through the ban phase. In fact, we're all the way through it. Xin Zhao, Camille, and Ziggs removed by FPX. Jace, Aurelia, and Lee Sin out of the map by LNG. First pick, obviously, is going to be that Viego, followed up by the Varus and Renekton on the LNG side. And they are going thick and fast through these pick and bans. Obviously, they know each other so well, going through 2 games already. And for me, so far, with the Viego already locked in for FPX, a lot of comfort is coming through with the champion that's just been absolutely decimating this summer split. Next up, Aphelios and Thresh coming in for FPX. Very solid bot lane altogether. Safety with the Thresh, Lantern the Dark Passage there. Also the playmaking ability with the Death Sentence. On the LNG side of things, Renekton, safe top side. Could set it up with maybe a Nidalee jungle. Something AP to go alongside it so that they have this bit of aggression up on the top half of the map, where Ale will look to play with Tarzan in order to get themselves a bit of a lead. And that set lock-in is actually interesting to me. Coming in for Iwandi, who will be having to pilot this champion and look to get into the backline to lock down as many targets as possible. This gives me vibes of the EU Masters, where we saw Targamas rocking that set pick to perfection, I'll be honest, in the finals there. Just decimating Fnatic Rising, which obviously the set can do a lot of work in disrupting the play of what these two teams want to do. Second ban phase now, and we've seen Diana removed off the board, so no real strong AP junglers other than, say, Nidalee left on the board. Could possibly see that removed either way. But on the LNG side, they're removing these blind pickable tops that can do work. There is the GP, however, still up and available, which we could see come in. Or what we see, LNG pick up the GP, pivot the Renekton down into the mid lane. But instead, we are going to see the Nidalee come straight in that 4th spot for LNG. FPX side of things, they need their top, they need their mid. They're going to have to reveal something here. Well, they're revealing both of them. GP would make a lot of sense. A lot of blind pickability with it. You also have the global to match any sort of plays that LNG want to go for. And I actually like that. TF is still up and available. Silas is up and available to, however, if he wants to be countered. But if I'm FPX, I'd probably go for something safe. The Ori would work out well. I know you're not meant to talk about hovers, but if you look at the rest of their comp, they need AP. And TF would work, Ori would work, Syndra would work. But TF, the roam presence there will not be able to be matched. And that's obviously very strong, in my opinion, for FPX, because you've got two globals there ready and available to match the opponents. That's going to be hard to be dealt with. And Destiny's just going to force plays the roaming mid in Doinby, who's known for playing these sorts of roam aggressive bruiser picks, I guess, as well, you would say, for Doinby. But the last lock-ins come in, the Lucian comes through for LNG. They're going to look to bully Doinby and not allow him to roam with that pick. So we could see the possibility of a fourth game here. With this LNG lineup, they've got the tools to do so. The only thing I would say is Nidalee is the only AP on that side, and she isn't really that heavy of a AP champion. She's very front-heavy burst compared to the sustainability AP that you kind of want in a best-of-5 series, especially when your opponents are on match point. But the drafts are out the way. We're getting ready and prepped to load onto the Rift. This is going to be a very interesting matchup with two teams looking to play two different styles. Only time will tell as we see all the players not showing any sort of stress or nerves. They're looking focused, calm, collected, ready to get onto the Rift. And FPX have got the buffer of 2 games right now. They're willing to throw it down on the line here in this game. And they do, however, want to pick up the win. But as the lights on the stage show us how things are going, we are loading into Game 3. We see the ruins on the screen right now. Nothing out of the ordinary that I can tell. It's going to be Grasp GP, so he's going to look to sustain through top lane. The rest of the map looks fairly standard. And here we go. Onto the Rift for game number 3. And yeah, looking at the stats, very standard. Defensive lines of skirmish are drawn. The possibility of a top lane could come through, however, just going to be backing away there is the Nidalee. Tarzan does not want to give that one away. So, going to be probably standard starts. I would say Viego will start on the red side, or the red buff. In fact, that's a really good clear out here by the FPX side. Going to start Sweeper here on the support here, Thresh. So he hasn't actually gone placed a ward and then switched it back. He has, in fact, just gone the Sweeper start. That's good. Gets the XP over to the ADC here. And this should mean that early level 2 can come out for this bot lane of FPX, who, as I say, will look to get some very early aggression down onto the LNG side. Now, early aggression is something you wouldn't attribute to FPX with this draft. You'd probably wait till level 6 when the TF's Destiny comes online. But you've got Renekton and Nidalee on the other side of the map who are very early game aggressors. And as such, you could probably see them look to make a play topside here, LNG. But you've just got to weather the storm if you are Norgri on this FPX squad. And I, for one, really am looking forward to seeing how this top lane plays out. Because, as I say, two aggressive top laners, both playing picks that can get things done, the ability to carry a game through to the end. And honestly, I'm looking to see if they can do their job correctly. Now, early game is very slow. No early game aggression coming out from the junglers. They're just looking to full clear their own jungle. No invades. Be interesting to see how the scuttle trade comes through. This bot side, FPX could look to go aggressive. Viego is down here. In fact, both junglers are on the bottom half of the map. However, because LNG have the early roam coming out from their support, it means this bot scuttle goes over to Tarzan. And with that, there's also the second scuttle going over to Tarzan as LNG are going to double scuttle FPX. That's always a good start, especially when your jungler is on an early game carry like Nidalee. They're going to look to balloon the lead, hopefully, if you're LNG, and then pick up this win. But as I say, this game is not over until it's over, and FPX already looking to make plays as bot side. Death Sentence is going to land. The Haymaker is forced out. There's a Flay pulling back the set into even more damage. He is going to be put on with the purple snare, but no stun comes through. And overall, just a solid aggressive trade there coming out of FPX. As top side, never mind, Cleanse is going to be burnt on the bot side. Death Sentence lands back to the top side though. GP stepping a bit aggressive. Renekton's going to look to trade here. Here's Nidalee. Flash is going to be forced out by GP, but he is stunned down, locked down. That's the kill. First blood over to Nidalee. Could see more plays though as TF roamed up here with the gold card. Viego's here as well. Instead, LNG just backing away, saying thanks for the free kill. First blood goes over to Tarzan. As back to the bot side, the Death Sentence lands again. The Gravitum gonna lock down the set, but nothing more gonna come out from that play. And yeah, great hooks coming out of FPX's Thresh there. I, for one, am really loving these sorts of plays. Now, Crisp doing work here for FPX, as is the rest of the squad, looking to set up a play towards the mid lane. We do see the hook go wide. Gold card lands though, but we're not going to see the Spectral Maw land out from the Viego. Completely forgot what it's called there. And yeah, solid disengage coming out from LNG. And in fact, the invade coming out from Tarzan, looking to make a play onto, Norgri could be caught out here, trading quite aggressively. Here is Nidalee diving, pouncing, prodding her way. The barrel, though, does enough damage. The Facebreaker goes wide there. Bit of a play by Owandi, but here comes the re-engage. The Death Sentence does not land. Tarzan is going to be forced to run away. Blast Cone is not going to save him. But here is the Spectral Maw doing work. Destiny as well. Owandi going to be locked down. Not taken down just yet. In fact, it's going to be him picking up the kill onto the Thresh. And this is a fight that's going 1-for-1 so far. Make that a 2-for-1 as Norgri gets popped by the Renekton. Spear is going to be dodged here by Doinby, prepping that gold card. And nothing else is going to happen as the two teams back away. Maybe not, as the Viego looking to trade aggressively onto Ale, who is going very aggressive onto him. Tian is almost going to drop. In fact, he almost does. Spectral Maw being prepped. No follow-up, though. And that could have been a solo bolo over to Ale, who just does so much damage on this Renekton. 1-0-1 right now. And he hasn't even got a damage item. He's got the Relic Shield, not Relic Shield, Doran Shield and Plated Steel Cap, so he can survive the GP harassment with the parlay. But we look at this replay again. It's just Tarzan dueling this GP, pouncing in, doing the damage. The Facebreaker kind of a bit too optimistic. And this is where FPX think they can fight. They're turning it around. The Death Sentence goes wide, so Owandi gets away. Sorry, Ale gets away. Owandi, however, walks headfirst into Destiny. He does a lot of work here, but the culling from the behind. Lucian does so much work in that fight that it allows the kill trade to go over to Owandi. And yeah, solid play coming out from LNG to respond to the aggression that FPX tried to put down in their counterplay to the original aggression out of LNG. So the game now enters this kind of stale point where we have to deal with the laning. Obviously the Drake's on the map, the Herald is on the map, so we could see some movement towards them, as Tarzan is in the top side of the map, Bot side map, however, is home to where Tian is. And he has been spotted as mid lane. The Culling's just being chucked out, pumping out damage onto Doinby, who's just going to back away and hopefully regen his health. His back, however, was stopped. And because of that, that gives up free pressure onto this Herald for LNG, as the mid lane has no way of answering. And top side is already pushed up by Ale, who is just being very aggressive in this lane matchup. Bot side, though, could see a dive as the Destiny's being used. Gold card is prepped. The stun card comes down. The cannon barrage on top of it. That's a set being locked down. The Haymaker doesn't do enough, but it's going to be a trade as Thresh gets taken out. It's a double kill over to the Varus. What a play! As Light manages to capitalize on that, but topside the map as well. LNG are getting everything. A failed dive coming out of FPX means that this top tier 1 tower is forfeit. And LNG is steamrolling through this early game and doing a lot of work in the process. What plays coming out here. And FPX, they need to slow down the burn here, as they are behind 3k at 10 minutes. That is unheard of, especially for these former world champs. As we watch this dive play come out again, Destiny gets used. He comes in, gold card onto the set. He's just going to be like, thanks for building up my Haymaker charges. As on the bottom half of the fight, it's just Varus trading aggressively onto the Thresh, not allowing him to get away with his life as he tanked the turret. And while it is inevitably a 2-for-2, that still favors LNG because they got the top tier 1 turret on top of it. And yeah, great play in terms of response from LNG, but we could see a repeat dive coming to bot side. Dark Passage is going to pull the Aphelios back to safety. Death Sentence in the box also going to be invested onto the set. But the Renekton's here, and that so is Nidalee. They take down Crisp, and they take down the Aphelios, as Lucian says, you're gonna get cool today. And, well, LNG still continuing to pressure this early game. They're gonna get at least 1 turret plate, and a lot of minion denial on the bottom half of the map. What has FPX, though, got in response? They're getting a lot of top tier 1 pressure. Mid lane pressure is coming out as well, but that's an Ocean Drake as well over to LNG, who are just doing so much work. And we look at Nogri's stats here. He has quite high stats for a top laner. 53% kill participation is solid, considering top is considered an island. But as we watch this play again, this is where FPX think they're safe. They can turn, because they've used the Dark Passage to pull them back to safety. But the 3-man collapse from LNG just comes through. Chris tanks the spear and dies. The Culling just takes out LWX. And there's nothing more that can be said about that play. There's great roam coming out from LNG and a bit of greedy aggression from LWX, who tried to turn around some of the damage onto that Thresh, onto the set. Did not pay too much dividends. So, as we enter 15 minutes into the game, Drake will be up in 3 minutes. Tarzan is having a blast in the top side blue jungle. And he's got the right to be there, as Ale is backing him up. And yeah, just going to be looking to steal away as much as possible, as we can see that the top side jungle is not available to Tian. It means that Tarzan knows that probably Tian is bot side, who's now just roamed over, look to have taken his wolves. But yeah, this is solid play coming out of LNG, who are gonna probably look to balloon this game even further out of control. They have the early game Drake as well, They'll get their second in about 2 minutes. And once they get that, that's looking to be a 25-minute soul that's going to be able to continue to apply pressure onto the map and continue the snowball that LNG are looking for. Now, the possible invade is coming out here from Tarzan yet again. He's continually prodding forward with backup from the set. The spears are just being thrown out. They want to contest this red buff. And quite rightly, as the 3-man roam squad from LNG comes through, they are going to secure that. And Nilly gets a nice juicy red buff added to her collection. So, as we look at the map state right now, and the CS's, never mind, we're looking at Doinby stats, and that is a very high KDA for a player who plays a lot of bruises as bot side. That is going to be the Viego pressuring the map as the Showstopper comes out by the set. He's going to be taken very low. Heartbreaker takes him out, and set transformation is unlocked. Facebreaker will not get popped out by the Viego, who gets taken down into trader kills. It's double kill over to this Renekton, who's going to get a third kill over to his squad, as this is just a stomp right now. As Lucian dives in the turret, he will be taken out by that. Death sentence, lads. What are LNG doing? They just threw away 3 kills over to FPX, who are fighting back into this game. Wow. That was kind of bad coming out of LNG there. And you do not want to give over any pressure to this FPX squad. And I say any because it just means everything's bad. As we watch this again, Set goes quite aggressive, tanks the turret shot, means Destiny comes out from TF. Gold card, forces the cleanse, Cannon Barrage dropped heavily onto the Varus, who is taken low, and that is the shield bow propped. Trade of kills comes out by the Viego and the Set, who take each other's life, and then it's just Renekton charging through the backline of FPX. He locks down the fellows to give over a kill to Icon. But once you go on the turret flashing aggressively, you're gonna die to a turret. And there's 5 consecutive turret shots destroying the top and mid laner of LNG. And that just meant so much to this FPX lineup as they get to deny the Drake stack, as well as even out a bit of the gold. They bring it back down to a 3k gold lead. But you have to realize LNG will get this Herald in response. However, another turret is going to be picked up onto the map. And this will be the first turret to FPX. Nogri's going to pick that one up on his GP, who played dividend in that last fight. 3, 2, and 1. He got the early pressure put onto him by LNG. But he's fighting back here, as we could see a possible dive onto Doinby. 4 members of LNG are here. Flash over the wall coming out from the set. Showmaker comes through. Showstopper locks him down long enough for Icon to pick up the kill. I keep getting the Showmaker and the Showstopper mixed up for some reason right now. What is going on? But you could just say it is making this a show, as LNG, as I said, coming into this game, needed it in order to keep this series going. However, right now, they're sitting comfortably with a 3k gold lead. They have the Herald, the second Herald, in their back pockets. And honestly, we could eventually see a 5-game series here in the LPL. That would be great, considering it has been very easy breezy for some of these teams here in the playoffs. So yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to here, as FPX are behind. They do have, though, the late game squad, and just look at player gold. Wow, Nogri and... oh wait, that's split by lane. Nogri's sitting quite heavily at the top of the leaderboard, though. And you have to realize he's doing a lot of the work. It's very close goal between lanes. It's just in the jungle we see the mega difference. Same in the bot lane. 1k, 1.5k split between two laners. That's where LNG have got their advantage across the map. And it's not like Defelios has farmed quite badly. He is almost even in terms of CS. He's behind 9. That's a wave that he's dropped. That's not too bad. And LNG, they're going to look to pressure mid. They're going to put the Herald down here. They aren't going to save it for the Drake, which is kind of sad. However, they are going to get the mid lane turret and unlock that part in the map. Now, possibilities of a play coming out here is Doinby putting a bit of aggression down, trying to stop the red buff steal that Tarzan has been doing all throughout this game. And yeah, FPX could actually catch out Icon, who is gonna be spotted out by the Scryer's Bloom. But once again, Nogri is the benefactor of another turret taken down for FPX. And we're starting to see that in the gold he is surmounting and bringing to this FPX lineup. So, we finally reached the 20-minute mark of the game. Baron is on the table. And I just want to look at the vision being put down by these two squads. Tarzan, using his Nidalee to poke and prod through areas to get the vision set down. There's so many control wards around this mid lane by LNG that they are looking to keep back FPX, who are getting their own vision down right now. They are clearing it. Set. Hex flashes over the wall. Quite aggressively. The barrel chain will not land. The culling, though, will be used. And that's a heartbreaker popping down. Icon, who is forced to flash away. Doinby picks up the kill. He uses Destiny to get into the backside. Dark Passage is readily available. And that is just the set being ran down. That will, however, be a trade as the Varus picks up the kill onto the TF. And Renekton, he has his Dominus propped. He gets pulled into turret, though. And that's forced to back away. 2-for-2 trade across the map here. As FPX, trading even is always good for them, considering they're behind. And it's always bad for LNG, who want to get the plays going and burning through the FPX lineup. However, Cloud Drake #1 is on the map, and that'll take either side through to their second Drake. As we watch this play again, Icons uses his culling, but he gets broken down by the Spectral Maw, forcing Flash away, and Doinby gold cards into the Permafrost, into death, and Nidalee just is left there with the Varus to kill him off. Pretty easy kill, considering Doinby had no real spells to survive. Now, we look at the players across the map. It's going to be a battle between Nogri and Light. Light has a lot of the gold that LNG is passing and keeping in terms of the lead. And mid lane, the color is going to be put down onto LWX, who is forced to flash. So much damage was put down in that short amount of time. And he's forced back to base. And that just means more Baron pressure is there and able to be set up by LNG, who's using the traps from Nidalee very effectively to keep them back. And you just look how many wards, how much has been placed down here into the blue side jungle of FPX. It is a lot. And they are not going to be able to contest this Baron in this map state. So, as bot... Oh. Just going to be a chunking out there by the Lucian onto Viego. And, oh, that spear landed. That did so much. Luckily, Aphelios has got the sustain right now. But with a chunked out Aphelios, it means Baron time. Never mind. The blue trinket will spot it out, and LNG just back away. And they're just going to keep playing the Baron dance. That's all they need to do. They're ahead at this point in the game. They've got a lead. They could quite easily close this one out if they just keep baiting FPX to make a play towards the Baron. No more blue trinkets on FPX's side, which means they're going to have to face check the next time LNG do this sort of play. And that's not something you want to do. They do, however, have the Destiny up very soon. It's only a third of the way charged, I should say. But Destiny has got quite a short cooldown. So they can use that if need be to check the Baron. But I should point out now, GP and Viego have actually managed to get into the Baron River. And are going to get a bit of vision put down. They're clearing out some vision. They do have a Thresh there available to provide some safety. But topside, we could actually see a play as GP's hovering around with Doinby. Gonna force Ale back. Bot side, however, is being pushed and responded to by LNG. So it's gonna be pressure topside for FPX against the pressure bot side by LNG. And in my opinion, pressure bot side's a lot more favorable if you want to go for a Baron. Because you've got to force an enemy to go to the furthest side of the map, away from the purple worm. And what you know, the wave is being cleared out by Nogri, who does have his TP readily and available in order to go and respond to a Baron take by LNG. And TP going to be invested here by the TF. He's going to go to the top side of the map. Fair enough. Going to pressure against Ale's Renekton. And yeah. What more needs to be said here than FPX playing quite passively? They want to scale. That's all they need to do. Whereas LNG, you would have thought with how their comp is set up, they would look to bait around the Baron a bit more aggressively. They've got the poke champs in the Varus. They've got the spears from the Nidalee. You've got the arrows from Varus, as I say. You've also got the culling. All these abilities are very poke heavy and force the opponents to play. Meanwhile, we go to the bot side, Spectral Maul and the Gold card going to be invested heavily onto the set. Culling's going to be chunking out the FPX lineup. But the spears and the arrows are coming through. That's put Nogri very low. And he's going to be forced back to base as the Cloud Drake, the Soul Point Drake 4. LNG is coming online as Icon is going to be spotted out, force the flash, but that's a lovely showstopper coming out from the set, going to force away, but Viego is down. He's picked up the kill onto Icon. That's the 2 kills over to FPX, and the Aphelios and Viego are just cleaning house. What happened in that fight for LNG? They just got absolutely bodied, and you have to say, Icon played that quite poorly. He got spotted, he got caught, he's got dropped very early on into that play as Nogri gets a bit aggressive. Dark Passage is going to pull him back to safety, but Tarzan is here. The Baron is being taken by FPX. He is spotted out by the blue trinket. Varus is here. He's using his poke, trying to kill off the Thresh. Tarzan has been caught out, but taken out. Aphelios picks up the kill, and the Baron goes over to FPX. As we watch this one again, Icon just steps into vision. Gets taken low. Desi comes through. Force the flash. Gold card. Boop. Taken out. Death sentence. Cannon barrage. Combinazione. Into the Infernum. Takes them down. Icon popped. That just means the set dies as well, who showstoppered the TF. And that's just FPX picking up easy kills. And an easy Baron on top of it. And look at the Baron stats here for FPX. They have gotten 63% of their Barons in games. what do you expect from the first seed from the LPL? Them not to have a positive record in Baron takes? It's so solid by this squad. And as I said all through this game, early game favored LNG. But once you get to this late stage, the gold has switched around 2k over to FPX. And they are using this Baron to chunk and dismantle the turrets that are up on the map that they've been dying to get onto all game. They were pushed out and beaten down, and they're coming back with vengeance, as the possibility of a play here is setting up. But it's not going to happen, as the mid lane is just going to be cleared out. Fairly standard. And I need to commend, in that last fight, the Viego. I need to commend the Aphelios. But I also need to praise Crisps Fresh. He played that to perfection. He locked down the carry. It meant that LNG had no way of really fighting. And when you've got a carry who's out of the fight, who's your short range burst, yeah, there's not much you can do against this FPX lineup, because Varus can't do too much. He would just get absolutely bodied if he did. And you've got a Renekton who's close range. He couldn't really do much. Nidalee could, but she was just pushed way too far out of it, and then eventually got taken out at the Baron. But top side map is where we pan to now. And FPX want to take their last outer turret on the map. And this should be very easy to get. The Aphelios has got his Hurricane. With the Infernum, he's just going to burn through these waves. And what can LNG do to stop this kind of burn? They've been rolling with the snowball all the way through this game up until this point, as Destiny's going to be used. Gold card's going to land in Permafrost as well. That's the cannon barrage on top of it. That's so much damage. Set is forced to showstopper away, but he's going to be almost certainly killed, as it's going to be a trader kills as his supports both die. But Icon picks up the Viego. Varus picks up the TF, but the Infernum rises as Aphelios is still alive. Never mind, he drops his GP, is the only one alive, and that is going to be the ace over to LNG. They're stopping the burn. They're looking to turn and get themselves some gold on the map. Yet again, LNG ace out FPX. And the gold is pivoting back in their favor. Although they are still technically down. As we watch this fight again, it's just over-aggression from Doinby. He wants to get this turret, but it's a lovely burn, and the Aphelios goes way too forward, flashing forward. Just means showstopper from the set can be used, get into the backline, lock down the targets, and here comes Renekton to just slice his way into the backline. Gore Drinker, Cullen Meep, he's got his GA, 2 GAs, it's not even a GA, it's a stopwatch, but a GA and a stopwatch invested by LNG to get into the backline. And that's just easy work there for the Lucian and the Varus to burn out the rest of FPX. And wow, what a massive play coming out of them. It is, however, kind of dire if you're still an LNG fan, I should say, as Soul is nowhere near for either team at the moment, which would be a win condition if you're LNG, because the Baron is also going to be up and available in 50 seconds. That's another win condition that they really do need, as, let's be brutally honest, the last Baron that FPX used cracked open the gold lead for them. There's still the outer turrets for LNG up and available. They did take the bot side. That's what FPX did. When you have 2 outer turrets taken down, that means that they're just there. It's a longer lane, and it means that minions have to travel further if you want to push them out. And as such, what FPX can do is just push the bot lane up to where that inner turret, I should say, would be. And that just forces LNG to go to there, respond to it. And as I say, bot lane is the furthest lane away from the Baron. So if you push that up, it means that LNG have to do a lot more work in order to push it back to your side map where they can threaten. So, with FPX reaching Soul Point, they then can transition back up to the Baron, put their vision down, re-push the bot lane, which is actually in a pushing favor for them, I should say, and then pressure around the big purple worm yet again. And this is something LNG failed to capitalize on when they had the advantage. They weren't able to keep the pivot of the Baron dance going. And as such, if you're FPX, you need to go up towards this Baron like they're doing now, clear out the vision yet again that was put down. In fact, they already have. There's no vision in the pit other than a control ward. Once that gets taken out, Baron could be started. Blue trinket is invested as well. The only blue trinket on LNG's side. And this is where the pick game comes into effect. If you're FPX, what engage do you have in order to get a pick? You have a death sentence. That's about it. Maybe the cannon barrage at longer range into Destiny would be how you get a pick. But LNG is smart. They're grouping up together. They're not going in single-handedly, not giving the pick opportunity over to FPX. So, how do you get a pick onto this LNG side? What is your engage options other than a hook? Nothing. That's basically what I'm saying. However, we have actually seen a pick, as that is a Renekton caught out, taken low. The hook goes wide, but it does not need to land, as that's a kill over to the GP. And Baron is on the table. LNG are around here, looking to contest. Gold card's being thrown out. Dark Passage is used. They keep an eye on it, and it's stolen! Tarzan takes the Baron! And FPX are gonna be forced to run away. The purple worm was just absolutely decimated by LNG. Stealing that one away means that they can use the pressure they've got in the mid lane. TP's going to be used here by TF to stop the push bot side. And he is possibly going to be caught out. Doinby could be jumped on. He's not, however, going to face any repercussions for that TP. And LNG, what a steal coming out from their superstar jungler Tarzan. We're going to have a replay to see how low it actually got. So, he's caught out on a ward. And then he roams, he pops a Scribe's Bloom, so he would have been spotted there. Goes over the wall, walks back through Destiny, gold card, into the Everfrost, into the Flay. Yeah, he's locked down for days. The death sentence doesn't land, and that's just big. So, how low does this Baron get before it's smited? 3k, 2k, jumps in at 1.3. Oh, it's the Q smite combo, just secures it. Kind of poor body blocking there, or any form of denial onto the Nidalee. They did it perfectly on the first Baron, but here, there was nothing. They spotted with the doubled Scribe's Bloom, but we could see a play as a collapse was being set up by Icon again. Spear dodged lovely doubly by the FPX squad. But here we go. The siege is starting. And LNG are going to get this inner turret for free without any sort of contest from FPX. And you have to say, how can FPX contest the poke that can come out from LNG? It's very hard. The Varus's piercing arrows can just come through. The Nidalee Spears have been raining down hellfire onto them all game. And then the culling as well as just on top of it as a creme de la creme means that FPX have to cede power across the map as LNG continue to siege, and this Cloud Drake is up and available. It's going to be pulled out of the pit by Tarzan, and yeah, Drake down, Soul stopped for now, and the next Drake is going to come even more pivotal as it's Soul for either squad. Granted, it's only a Cloud Drake, and Cloud Soul isn't too favourable in terms of the souls. You would much rather prefer if you're LNG and Infernal, and if you're FPX, any soul would be good, as a play could happen as the Everfrost is going to be dodged out on, but the gold card cannot be dodged, and the poke comes through, going to dissuade this siege coming out from LNG, who do not have the Baron anymore. The Barons are going to be dropped on and put down, but they're not going to be burst, as Viego's gotten behind, the Desi's there, Renekton's on his lonesome, he's taken low, death sentence lands, he's locked up, stopwatch is forced. He goes into backside, showstopper comes through, set, he's on his own, and that is just LWX popping off. As the Infernum comes through, taken down low, another GA popped, and set is dropped on the side of FPX as he was stolen by Viego, but that's a triple kill over to GP. Actually, it's a quadra. And he just pops the entire LNG lineup. What happened in that fight? Because I have no clue how Norgri got so many kills. We'll have to watch the replay again as the inner turret mid is dropped. FPX positioning to end. Icon is the only remaining member on this LNG side to try and defend. Inhibitors down. Culling going to be used. Almost going to take out the Thresh. But the gold card is prepped. Just the turret being dropped. Everfrost is used. And Icon, he's looking to turn. That is already an almost dead set. He is dead. And so is Lucian. That is game number 3. And FPX win the series 3-0. What a game from both squads. Back and forth through it all. But in the end, the dominant squad of FPX take down LNG, who played very aggressive. We saw steal. We saw some kind of misfortune in terms of team fighting from this LNG lineup. And you have to say, FPX are a dominant squad looking to get back to Worlds and honestly claim their second World Championship. That is their aim, and you can tell how confident they are with how they played this series. It was phenomenal. Honestly, they outclassed their opponents here, and needless to say, you have to realize this squad is a very dangerous threat, especially with how Doinby likes to play this game. And as such, it's time to bid you all adieu. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.